Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. This movie, it was okay. You know, it wasn't terrible. I've seen way worse. Okay, so, the movie takes place in the future. And the movie is about a space station that over the years kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger for more attachments, and eventually aliens started adding attachments to it, and more and more and more and more and more, until eventually it got so big that they had to send it off into space. Now it's this crazy melting pot of alien and human cultures. There's a whole bunch of different districts and stuff. One problem with the film is that we don't get to see this thing until about almost a half an hour into the film, which is okay. However, when we start out the film, we start off on this alien planet that gets destroyed. We cut to these two agents having to go to a market on some other planet in order to retrieve the plot MacGuffin. One question I have is, why didn't you just set the market on the space station? I mean, then we would have gotten to our destination further, we would have gotten more involved with the actual space station, and we could have gone from there. I know, it was a really cool idea, the fact that this market's in another dimension, and you have to wear these gloves in order to interact with it, and then you have to pass your items that you buy in there through a matter transporter in order to actually take them home. Again, why not just put it on the space station? So the film is about the plot MacGuffin and its importance to these one people who had their planet destroyed. It is really about this little lizard guy who, whatever you feed him, he excretes, I guess. Multiple copies of it out. And this little thing is the last one. Okay. There's not really a whole lot that happens in this film. I mean, admittedly, it is visually interesting. That's the main thing. This film is visually entertaining. The problem with this film is that it's not story-wise entertaining. For a number of reasons. Reason number one. The acting of our two leads is questionable. You can poop diamonds? Wow. Well, admittedly, the two main characters, the titular Valerian and his counterpart Lorelei, they are supposed to have this, like, oh, we're joking around, I don't like you, but I secretly love you type relationship. However, it doesn't really come across like that. Which isn't to say that they're both not good actors. Independently of each other, I think that this film would have worked great with just one of them. However, when we have two, it kind of starts to show, it's like, your acting kind of doesn't hold up very well here. Wow. Another thing about this film, it's called Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. For the majority of the film, we focus on things from Lorelei's perspective. Why did you call your film Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets if for the majority of the film, you're going to focus on Lorelei? You see where that might be a problem? Admittedly, the way that the whole plot thing starts coming around is I figured it out in the first 20 or so minutes. The moment that they set foot on the space station, I can't remember what it's called, I'm sorry. The moment they set foot on there was this one scene in which the general guy was like, if the plan goes wrong, you know what to do, to these robots. And from that point on, I'm like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen from this point forward. Visually entertaining? Absolutely. And story-wise, it is riddled with problems. Admittedly, there's not a lot of plot holes. In fact, I wouldn't say there are any plot holes. But the story is very weak, which is really surprising because the setting they have for the story is really cool and really amazing. You could have done so much with it. Why did you not focus on it more throughout the film? You could have done so much with this environment on the space station, and you save it for the last half of the film. The entire first half of this film should have been establishing, oh yeah, on this planet, hey, have you seen these weird creatures that may or may not actually exist? And hey, there's this weird energy building up in the core. It's kind of deadly, and the team we sent to go get it didn't come back. Where did they go? What happened to them? Hey, Agent Valerian and Lorelei, go check us out and tell us what happened. Do some detective work. Get to know the people on the space station. There's your whole thing, a detective story in space. You can still have your stuff with the Pearl alien, but the execution of it was not great. You had this gigantic setting that you could have done so much with, and you didn't. Again, this film, it's not bad. Not by any means is it bad. Screenwriting-wise, probably could have used another draft. But it's not a bad film. On the contrary, it's a very visually interesting movie, and on that merits, you could watch this movie 100 times and notice more and more things. Pretty sure I saw an Easter egg for Who Framed Roger Rabbit at one point, which was weird, but okay. Again, this film, once again, I'm just stating this again, this film is not a bad movie, but by no means is it a masterpiece. Which, you know, is okay. Not every film has to be the end-all be-all film to end all films. However, when you have such an interesting and really cool setting, do something with it. I mean, admittedly, you could be like, oh yeah, well, we're setting up this world. You didn't need to. You had a world right there. This space station looks so cool, and you could have done so much with it, but you didn't. In the end, though, my final rating for this film is a solid 7 out of 10. Would I recommend this film? Maybe. I probably wouldn't recommend seeing it in the theaters. But if it's on Netflix, or even at your local video store, definitely give it a rent or a watch. Because again, it's a very visually interesting film, but it's not very good story-wise. So in the end, everybody, my online alias is Lord X. You can call me Will. Thank you for watching, and hear what my friends thought of the film. So you just saw Valerian.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Well, it was pretty good. It could have been a little bit more subtle in what it was trying to do in some parts.
Very good, but very predictable.
I enjoyed it very much. It had its fair share of weird moments. Very weird, actually.
It's kind of one of those movies where right afterwards I'm not sure if I like it or not. So, yeah, it was good, but I'll probably have a different opinion like in 2 days about it.
Okay. And what was your favorite scene?
Probably when the planet explodes.
Guess my favorite scene was when the guy put on the full armor. I wasn't expecting him to go Hulk mode. Just kind of start running through things and bashing right through them.
Probably the part where that thing shits diamonds.
Whenever the guy had to dive through the multiple worlds to go get his girlfriend back. That was cool how they showed that.
Okay. And then your rating out of 10.
I give it like 7.5.
7 out of 10.
8.
8 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
6.5.
Also, Rihanna plays a shape-shifting goo stripper. Do with that what you will.